from day one I was really enjoying sharing that good feeling with others. You know, I had that in mind. But then I wanted to know more about this music, and I wanted to study it more, and I wanted to be around the great guys I was listening to. So I decided in an early age to travel to the States and try to make a career out of my passion, and that's exactly what I did. I went to Chicago, studied in the American Conservatory for a couple of years, and I studied at the Roy Knapp School of Percussion, where my idol, the man that I told you I just went to see his movie, and that because of that I became a drummer. I happened to study with the same man that taught that guy, you know, my idol, you know. So
how did it
I was
feel
very
to train actually with your idol? How did it feel to train with your idol? With the thing that you love?
Yes, it's a wonderful feeling. It's nothing better like it. Nothing like it, you know. Nothing better than that, you know. I did just that, and I was very lucky to play with a lot of great guys, very well known, and also I was very lucky to play with a lot of different types of music, because the States was open and there was a lot of styles growing at that time. So I played rock and jazz and soul music and funk music, and I even played country rock music, and we formed a band. We had a hit record called Reach Out of the Darkness in 1968, and was on top 10. Anybody can look at it on the net. And we toured the United States for 2 years, playing, you know, sharing the bell with a lot of the great rock groups were at that time, like Tommy and the Who, and Cream, and Jimi Hendrix. We played with Cream in Detroit Stadium, where there was like 55,000 people, and that was when they first came to the States. Was Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce and Eric Clapton, and that was the first time I see Eric Clapton at that time, you know. Anyway, I had a wonderful experience. I learned a lot from being on the scene in the States. I came back here and I did the opening of the Cairo Opera House with legendary Dizzy Gillespie.
But before coming to Egypt, you said that you've had a number of collaborations with a number of singers and of course musicians. Which one was that really interested you, that you really look forward to working with?
All of them. There's when you talk about the States, there's so many great people, and there's so many great styles, and so many things you can enjoy. I enjoyed everything I did there. All my experience is just very dear to me, you know. In all different style of music, I learned from so many people, so many things about life and about music. I appreciate everything that happened to me, and I'm not attached to anything specific, because all my experience was really wonderful, and all what made me what I am, and I'm very happy about all that, you know. But I wanted to, when I came back in the beginning, you know, I wanted to promote the jazz music much more and trying to make it popular in Egypt, and I did just that with the opening of the Cairo Opera House. After they did the opening with Dizzy Gillespie, that legendary trumpet player, you know, I started introducing jazz music into the public here, and I was very lucky that I succeeded in really something that I consider myself on a mission.
I wanted to ask you about this, talking about the jazz music in the past, when you started, and today, the progress that took place, and how do you see it in the future?
How do I think of the future?
How do you see it in the future? If you compare the jazz music now compared to when you first started it in Egypt in the past, I think things changed a lot. It started to be popular.
Oh, definitely. It's I made jazz fashionable here in Egypt. Yes. You know, it's just like everybody wants to play jazz. There's jazz cafes, jazz clubs, there's this, jazz that. It's like becomes a fashionable. This is something that I'm very happy about. Lots of festival, a lot of activity. People, when they come from abroad, you know, for a good band, they have a lot of crowds. In old days, you know, you could have a great band coming through Egypt and people don't know about it, you know, except the foreigner community that lives in Egypt. Now, you know, we have someone is good, it's a full house. People go everywhere to see him. We had Herbie Hancock, which is one of the great jazz piano player, a few years ago, and we had like 3 big concerts for him plus workshop. Extremely successful, and we have a lot of followers now. And I think through the music, through that jazz especially, you can really fight, terrorism and fight all ignorancy, because jazz is a very soulful music, and it's the music of today. It presents what everybody feels nowadays. It has something.
But is it actually related a bit to sadness, maybe?
Well,
or feeling blue?
Well, it's not, and also it's very happy. But the sadness there, if you feel that sadness there, let me tell you that sadness coming from, because jazz music, originally it's created here in Africa. It came with the African people that were just like slaves, and they were taken from here, and that was their music, and it was the music that through that jazz.
Remember home.
Only not to remember home. They were calling for freedom. They were calling for independency. They were calling, for equality and that kind of stuff. And from there that came that sadness, because that was the blues that they created then, through their singing and playing and during the beats they used to play, which was originally done for calling for peace, calling for war, celebrating whatever they were celebrating then, and they came with that, and the Western people that have went to the States at that time, all the what we call the white people that came from the European, Scotland and all those places, they saw that those people, those African people, have something magic. That's when they start really adding to them, helping them, trying to go with them, and together created a new kind of music that will be very popular. And let me just tell you that in less than 50 years, jazz did what classical music or any other folk music did not do for hundreds of years. And that shows you that there is something magic about this music, that everybody and all around the world went for it. So there's
it also
something.
has a sense of passion in it, in jazz music.
Of course, there's passion. It's called for happiness. It's called for freedom. It's called for equality. It's called for love. It teaches you so many good things, actually. And it's appreciated by all different types of people all over the world. And jazz is a very open kind of music, And after myself, after many years trying to present and to give the public the different styles of jazz music, and really let them know, because jazz is like 100 years altogether. That's
You've got
history, so.
something very interesting. We're talking about jazz, and you've got an extract from one of your concerts that we would like to watch together and listen very carefully and to enjoy the jazz music, and we'll be back to continue our interview.